Do you struggle with feeling adequate to teach your children? Anna from Just Making It Work can relate.
Although I knew I wanted to homeschool, I felt maybe it wasn't for me. Maybe I had heard God wrong, and maybe this was just too big of an undertaking for me. I truly felt that I was inadequate. Because I felt inadequate, it was like I was paralyzed and things were kind of stuffy and rigid in our homeschool versus enriching and having a natural rhythm. Now, this was all fear-based, but it literally paralyzed me. Now, even in the midst of all the wrestling, the calling to homeschool was our driving force, and that conviction was super strong, even though we had those reservations. Can anyone else relate to that? It's very much a faith thing in the truest sense of the words. You know, we're walking in obedience one step at a time. As homeschoolers, we leave what's familiar, known, and comfortable, and that's super scary. This is especially hard for those that like familiarity and patterns, along with predictability, type A personality. For those coming from a public school education, homeschooling is throwing all that we know out the window as we embrace a new normal. I think most of these insecurities we can feel as homeschoolers are fear-based, and we can tend to let it steer us. And when fear steers us, we live already defeated, waiting for it all to fail. You see how we limit ourselves with this kind of self-defeating mindset? The goal today is to rewrite that playlist with boldness, creativity, confidence, and a weight lifted. I did learn to identify where that fear was coming from. We are told, taught, and it's culturally acceptable that if we are sick, we go to the doctor for education, we need to go to the public school. The church is where we learn about God, and a mechanic will get your car up and running, and etc. Basically, there is a professional that is qualified for anything outside of growing a baby. Basically, a mom's role is to nurse a baby and care for them until it's time for the professional to take over at, let's say, the age of 5. Now, I'm not bashing the public school, the church, or traditional medicine, but what we're doing is countercultural, and that can be super scary. What I want to share today is not a blanket statement about homeschooling being the only way. I'm just speaking as a homeschool mom who has chosen to homeschool to other homeschoolers who have chosen to homeschool as well.
If you would like to hear the rest of Anna's story and her tips on how to be a confident homeschooler, make sure to join the Made to Homeschool Premium membership. There you'll have access to all of our past workshops, as well as be able to participate in live workshops weekly where you can have your questions answered. Don't forget to subscribe so that you see when we release another workshop clip to share with you. Here's one right here that you might want to check out next. That link for the premium membership is in the description box. You can also find us on Instagram. Make sure to say hi.